eBay item specifics. What a nightmare, but what a tool. Let's talk about how I'm processing them today. I am Ben with Before Treasures. We have our own business that we sell vintage home decor on sites like eBay. And I was going to process this and I thought, why not bring you along? So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go click on the buttons and see what we need to do together. And hopefully you can learn with this. Please ask me questions in the comments below. And I'd love to come and help you with those and learn with you. So here's the screen. We have the listings page up and you can see the quick filters that there are item specifics 67 right now. The reason that happened actually is because, a little side note, I went to business policies and I actually updated some of my shipping policies, and when you do that, it kind of like processes everything. And whenever you do some change, it almost reviews the whole listing again, and that's why I got 67. So you'll notice that if you ever list something fresh, you're probably going to have some item specifics to process. If you end a listing and relist it, you're going to have to process some of those. I have my processes, and I think there is a fine. If you don't want to ever touch these, it's still going to be listed and available, but I often find errors and mistakes or things they could do better by just doing the work and putting in the item specifics that they're recommending. So I'm going to click on this now and it's going to pull up just the one of 67. Then I'm going to select all of them and click the blue add item specifics. There's a nice big pop-up comes up, and now you can do one by one. So let's look at them together. This is a Rokenthal Studio candlesticks, and it's gonna be really tiny for you all to see, but I can kind of just scroll down here and say, okay, what are the shapes? They are triangular. The year, I'm just never sure about those. And you can see that you can go really deep. Now, notice what I did. I clicked, don't remind me about these again. I already clicked that maybe 6 months ago, but here we are again, is wanting to look. So this says removes this from your tasks, recommended quick filter and email reminders. Well, I did that. So yay. It's like I'm working for eBay here, but they are doing things for me too. They're allowing these items to be sold. It is an original production, I like to say. And if I have the measurements, I make sure I put them in here. And you do want to have the measurements because people want to see that. So we have those measurements there. Is there packaging? It is unboxed. It's something I've been adding. And one of the things I do not do is, let's say I don't know exactly like the color or something and I want to describe it a little bit more. You can put your own term in, but it's not recommended because that's only going to come up if somebody writes that exact same phrase. But these choices on the drop down, somebody can select alongside the filter options when they're searching for something, and they can put a specific color. So the word term beige is appropriate because it's on the list. You can get into things like theme. Is this theme difficult to tell? So I'm gonna leave it blank. It's better to leave things blank than put in inaccurate information, because that's something the buyer would either avoid because it's inaccurate, or if they buy it and they find it's not accurate, might do a return on you, and because it doesn't match your item specifics. Let's keep going. This is a huge collection of Hallmark ornaments. Kind of want to show you guys this. This is a massive collection here of these little ornaments that individually can be worth generally $15. And so we put them all together at $250. We'll be happy to accept offers on those too. So that's set up like that. We have ornament type. I'm happy with pretty much everything. I could go do some research on the years. I got 27 items. Christmas, brand, Hallmark, small, the size there, the width, maybe I could do 1 inch. Sometimes they're 3 inches high. So it includes Mary. I don't know. I think I might undo that because that doesn't, let's do ornament. That's better. So that's a better recommendation. So just do some quick scanning, always click that and I go down and go to the next one. So let's keep going. I know this is maybe not the most exciting video ever, but at the same time, maybe it is interesting to look at other people doing this like I have desire to see too and learn from. Specific type of products that are being sold in the product listing. This is an ornament. So sometimes it gives you a hint. It's trying. Frequently suggested is helpful. Often, sometimes it's not right, but that is good. I mean, pattern, you could select that, but who's filtering by pattern? But except for like a quilt, but maybe not so much an ornament. Size, totally. What do you think? Small, medium, large? I think that's fine. Origin, don't know those things. So a lot of extra information here. Father Christmas. This is if you don't have something you like to. It doesn't work on the size wise. You can use these unit quality and unit type, but I don't put anything in there I use the checkbox and let's keep going. These are items that have been listed for a while. I have been reviewed, several times. So that's why I'm not being super detailed. And notice you don't want to. You don't want to invest hours upon hours getting every single thing right for eBay to show it. Now, people might disagree with me, but most people, this search title is the most important thing. Now, you can obviously search and item descriptions will come up too, but it's less likely to be specifically your items when there's thousands of items with the same similar description. When you say Christmas ornament, it's better to have the specifics up here too. So the length and the width, I do the length sometimes because the width doesn't always have the exact number. We'll come across some of those. Let me show you here. What I mean is you don't want to have the item specific not be on the drop down. So here we have 2 items. That should be number of items. Let's make that 2. That's great. Pattern hearts. That is probably inaccurate, maybe from a time that we made listings sell similar. Sometimes you're copying in other people's. And this antique, is it antique? No, it's really not necessary to even mark anything. Vintage, no, I don't want to mark that either. I don't think it's helpful based on other conversations I've had with other resellers. It is more contemporary. It's not art pottery. 3 inches is high is fine. About 2 inches width, and let's do 4 inches length. Sometimes in the box, you could count that. Doing my best. These ornaments, nobody's really being that specific, but other things you want to be really make sure you get the measurements perfect. Again, apparently there's a lot of ornaments in this listing. I am not sure why those specifically are coming up, but this one is in a box. So material, seasonal, that's great. I don't see the box on this particular category. I don't know why. Sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not the packaging option. Let's keep going. And we now have Hallmark, a little mug that has pretty cool. We're going to go down here and glass type. I mean, it's ceramic, but it's not glass. It's ceramic. Is it handmade? No, but do I have to answer that at all? Probably not. I probably could just avoid that altogether. And we're going to go back to the top and keep going. Okay, here's something a little bit more exciting. We have an Avon tray. Not super exciting, Avon, but it's the fact that it's an item that doesn't have everything perfect. So this is a serving tray, yes. Coming down here, multicolor. There's 1 pack of this, but you see this here, this theme, animals and dinosaurs, really dinosaurs, but the theme is more animals because there's some bunnies on it. We could also do seasonal, maybe. Yeah, that's probably a better description than animals. So let's come back here and remove that one, but it is an option. So that's an improvement. We're coming down here to the height is 8 inches. Or the length is 8 inches. Now, why didn't we do that here? Well, you see how this drop down starts at 10 and goes up? I don't know why it does that, but a lot of collectibles start at 10. So you can manually add, of course, and it's a good thing to do, but it's not on the drop down, so people might not come up with that. It is just one of those things that little annoys me that certain ones don't have that. Now, the width, I don't know right now. So I can click this button, it opens up a separate tab, and then I'm happy to go through our pictures and say, good, we did a good job taking pictures. Width is 10, so I can see that there, and width is 10. It kind of maybe knew that. I don't know. Is it AI? Yes, there's AI happening in this. Item specifics for sure. It is unboxed. And so I do expect things to continually get better on automatically filling this out because it's using the images of the pictures we take, the titles we put to automatically fill things out. So if you type the word boxed or box in the title, very often you will find that your packaging material will say, won't be affected, but your theme will. And so it'll say boxing. It's assuming it's something to do with boxing when you put the word box. Not accurate. Make sure you catch that and correct that. But those are the type of things it's trying to do. If you put 10 inches in the title, it'll often put 10 inches in the description, item specifics as well. So I'm happy with those. Those are a lot of products there. Okay, and then here's another one. We have a Longer Burger basket. This is a company that's been out of business, very desirable still, but often very high priced in a lot of stores because it is very clearly labeled on the bottom of the piece or on the labels themselves. And so it's really easy to look up and identify for the places that we go to get sourced materials. But that's okay. Everybody, there's enough for everybody out there. We definitely see that. This is a candle holder. I got my inches, length, width. Do I want to be specific? Probably be helpful. We have some height of like 3. So we can come back and the height, starting at 10 inches again. So let's do 3 inches just to have it in there. And then we'll leave it everything else alone and we'll keep going through our listings. What are we gonna have now? Oh, more ornaments. My apologies, we still love those things, but here we go. There's 8 of them and the items. Now our title here isn't very good. Let me see that here. These are all cartoon characters, a mix of Looney Tunes. See, our title doesn't have any of that over here. So let's do some improvements here. And so if you want to, so you open it, you can then revise it right here, revise the listing, and just let's do that in this case. So that's why I do like the item specific, because it gives you a chance to review them. So this is Easter. I think they're all Easter, but let's put in Looney Tunes. And I saw Pooh, Tigger as well, which is kind of an odd thing, but let's get rid of the word vintage. When you don't have enough keywords, and actually I had the word vintage in there twice, oh my goodness, this is a bad listing. So 8 pieces, or maybe a set of 8 boxed. I still have 8 letters. And look at all the things that are coming up. Type box, not really. But franchise is coming there. Oh, I didn't spell Looney right. That's interesting that it knew what I meant without it being spelled right. And I would like the word keepsake, maybe at the end. Easter, Looney. Are they all Easter? They are very Easter. Maybe the word spring. That's a keyword that might come up. So you can select all by selecting all these if that's true. It's not a box though. Tigger is part of the subject sometimes, not a pattern. Franchise and occasion, spring, very nice. These are also ornaments. And Looney Tunes, shape, abstract, fine. We could do that, but it's not really necessary. I think the more contemporary style, they are for adults. I like the department. For sure. Average of 4 is an ornament size. Width is we can do 2. Length is again, let's do 4 again. And material, plastic, ornaments, all that's fine. We have a description here. I have it when I do post too, that puts in the words I like to use on the description at the bottom that says, check out our other listings. We have a lot of clean, smoke-free, pet-free home where everything gets cleaned and received by you. Something nice at the end that shows we're humans. We care about this. You can see that we don't need to change anything there. If you notice, nothing's being promoted. We have all promotions off. So 25% more clicks, maybe. Let's see if our business drops 25% by not having them on. Hint for a future video. We are 10 days into that experiment, and so far, pretty steady. So let's see, can we live without promoted listings? Talk about that in a future video. Subscribe for more. Thanks for asking. Here we have our back to our list. We're going to go back to the items specifics, 33 of them. Click on the checkbox, select everything, and come back to this page. So we made all those changes to that title because it was not good. That helped us. We do not want to take their advice on this one. We just went through it all so we can say, do not remind me again. Let's keep going. Even though I might find something else I could probably add. You can spend time. But it's a balance of your time and investment to each listing, because the cost of you purchasing these things that you source is not the full cost. Your time, your gas, and matters. And so when you price an item, you want to make sure that you're getting what we say 10 times value. If I paid $5 for these ornaments, I better be getting 50. Now that's not always realistic. So you break the rule and maybe you do 5 for 25, but 5 for 15, 3 times. tying up $5 of your dollars, hoping to get 15, but after fees, expense, and everything, you're probably just doubling. So you're making $5 for spending $5. And that time that it took for those $5 to be used in that investment of that in that ornament, maybe it'd be better to let it be done in something else. So, okay, so here we have some clothing, much more complicated. So we have colorful, maybe quilted. Yes, so we can accent is quilted. That's true. Is a theme colorful? Not really. It's black and white. Occasion, is it fall seasonal? Where was it made? It is sleeveless, washable. Clothing has even more item specifics, and people will pre-program templates where you have already all those filled out, and when you list something, you choose that template, and so everything will match. But I still feel like there's a lot of work with those kind of things. So here we have a picture, another thing that you can go through and think about. This doesn't have a brand. It's mid-century modern. The height is 8 inches. We can also make the length 8 inches. Packaging is unboxed. That's good enough for now. We'll let it go through. I will see these again if they don't sell within 6 months. I'm always relisting 6 months out items every day. Relisting, touching them up, changing some of the pictures and the keywords in the title to bring them and freshen them up. And we do get sales on a regular basis from those newly relisted, improved items. So I would love that every time we list something, it was perfect every single time, but we're always learning and finding new things. And maybe there's even new keywords that come into our mind that we want to use instead. So here we go. Here is a Danbury ornament. We love Danbury mint. It is made in China, but we love the details on Danbury mint products, and people really got into them, I think in the 80s and 90s especially. And so they are this highly detailed nature element. That's an ornament, but we have these big sculptures as well available that we just really find beautiful. Bring a little nature inside of your home. Okay, we have a Red Wing ashtray. This is something from Minnesota, the Wisconsin area. These are a cigarette ashtray, but the very collectible style from that time Red Wing. In this area especially, people enjoy it. I have the length, the width. I'm happy with that. Let's keep going. We have the next product coming up, which is going to be this St. Louis Crystal, another ashtray. We do not smoke. Our home is smoke-free, but these are still desirable and collectible because they were used throughout time, and they often have amazing art and detail. We're going to just kind of fly through these ornaments here. Okay, so we have 20 out of 33. We're now to these cocktail tumblers. We have only 13 more to go. Have the brand original adults. There is a printed sticker on them, we could say. It's a 2-piece set. We could improve that. Diameter and all those things we could do, but we're going to let that go as enough. And this is why, thank you for following along. It does become a lot, and you don't want to invest so much of your time in making sure every one of these things is specific, and don't get out and be sourcing new things, enjoying your family. And one of the high values on our channel is people before treasures, before your things. These items have existed before I was alive, and a lot of them will be here afterwards. So the time on this planet is important, and I think it's worth engaging on things outside of this realm. But this is a great tool of having a living where I can sit and talk to you. I can hang out looking at some items and going through and improve them as the best I can, but not take on so much stress and energy if they're not perfect. If somebody's meant to find it, they will find it. And I know that I've done the best I can, so I can rest at night and knowing there's other people and things taking care of me. I will enjoy life, and I will enjoy the things happening on this planet. And I see I have a length of 2.5. That's not the best. We're probably around the keywords. So we can do, so this is a collectible that's small, and it knows that, so it's giving me more choices now where I can choose 2.5 inches. That's definitely an improvement. It is unboxed. but I'm going to click save and next. These are a collection of Swarovski we got from a great find, about 100, I think, over 100 Swarovskis. And we are now being able to get them listed, and we're very excited to have them. Now, here's a mistake. 2 inches with just that isn't, the little quotation is not actually searchable, and without a space is not good either. So I should do 2 space IN is the proper way that I see them listing it. Now you notice how the height didn't allow me anything under 10 inches, but the length does. And so I do put the length in again for the drop down realities of they might not find it on the height drop down, but on the length it would come up because it's one of the options of the drop down. So now I have 1.5 inches. Good, selected. Let's continue. We're almost there. Thanks for hanging out with me while I did this. I'm not just talking to myself. I appreciate that you're taking the time to watch this, especially this deep into the video. I'm happy with those. I am very excited to see what the results of these are going to bring, because I have found that having item specifics completely done seems to increase the health of the account on eBay. When I used to leave them, and I think at one point I had 700 item specifics that needed to be done, and it did take, I gave me a month. I gave myself a commitment of doing like 30 a day until I got caught up. But now it's a habit of things I do. It's just part of my workflow, is going through item specifics, improving things where I can see them, but then letting them go otherwise. But I do like to have it as one of those tasks, especially when other people are listing them, like Ed, my husband, he lists them. I have a second chance to review them as well, and just make sure we're all on the same page. And that's another benefit of going to review them. These items are now being sent to other locations and other pages we have with eBay, other websites like Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy. We have a tool. Please subscribe to find out more about that automatically synchronizes it to those other platforms. So the item specifics are not used, but it's a really great feature. This is unboxed. My last one here. So we're going to click save and close, and we're going to process it, and we're going to watch with the beauty of what happens. Oh, one more. I see why. Oh, and I see that this is Ed listing a very valuable piece, $1,600, that he is wanting to sell. So we're going to go ahead and process this one. This is a very rare Wedgwood basalt black of a dancing hours. And he has item specifics here. The size is medium, maybe. Is it boxed? Yes. Certificate of ethnicity? Yes. Any hour? Sure. Now the 14, instead of that, it'd be better if we switch that to an actual 14 inch. And again, his height is 9. I'm going to go do 10, so it's there. But maybe to be more specific, because it's other places as well, we'll do 9.5. Boxed there, medium, dancing hours, United Kingdom, porcelain, figurine, good. But we'll fix up that title here in a bit too. Well, I just want to thank you so much for joining along on this journey of looking at my item specifics. I hope you were able to learn and think through some of your own item specific processing and see if you wanted to take the time to improve that. Please let me know if you feel like I should improve something, if I'm missing something as I go through them. I love being here in this community of Before Treasures. You're one of the first. Thank you for joining and subscribing if you have already, because you just mean a lot to us. It does make a difference to our lives, and knowing that you're out there watching us is a big encouragement. So I will continue to make content and tell you our stories. Watch out for how we export to other places. I'll have a description link in the below of how we use that, but that's going to be more detailed video coming out. And also what's happening with our promoted listings being turned off. Is that being a success or a failure? If it's a success, how much money are we saving by not using that? All coming out in the future of Before Treasures. And always remember, people before treasures. See you next time.